Another class on driving vocabulary. We've done a lot of vocabulary lessons now, and if anyone wants to see any of those lessons, please head to my website over there, skype-lessons.com, and you can find this by clicking on live classes and then scrolling down to vocabulary. You want to find vocabulary live classes, and then you'll get exercises that we're looking at, the same exercises or similar exercises, and you'll also have access to all the other lessons. Okay, so let's have a look at these two pictures. We've got some pictures to look at. I want you to find these words on the picture. Yeah, these are all words connected to car vocabulary. Hi, Sabi. So rear view mirror, firstly. So rear view is the view behind you. Yeah, it's the view from behind. So it's the mirror that shows you what's going on behind the car. Now, of course, there are a few mirrors that do that, but the rear view one is the one right in the middle of the picture here. Yeah, this is the rear view mirror. I hope you can see my cursor. I think you can see my cursor on the screen, but the rear view mirror is that one right at the top in the center. And it's the driver will look at it up like that, they'll look upwards at it. It's not one of the wing mirrors. Now, you have two wing mirrors on most modern cars, and the wing mirrors are on the side of the car. And so you see the wing mirror here and here. And of course, all three mirrors are actually for looking behind the car, seeing what's going on behind the car. But you have two wing mirrors on each side of the car and actually outside, and one rear view mirror, which is inside, and it's attached to the wind screen, which is the glass at the front of the car. Yeah, we call that a wind screen. It's to screen away the wind, to shield you from the wind, because of course it would get very windy if it weren't there. Okay, so the wing mirrors are on the side, the rear view mirror is just up there. Your steering wheel is the wheel right in front of you that you use to drive. So, of course, it's this round object here. Yeah, it's the thing which you use to turn left and turn right. The gear stick is what you use to change gears, to go from first gear to second gear to third gear. So it's right here in the picture. And you can also go into reverse gear. If you need to go backwards, you'll need to go into reverse gear and you'll need to reverse the car. But we say we change gears and you move up a gear or down a gear if you're going from first to second, from second to third. And of course, this only applies to manual transmission. Automatic transmission is automatic, so you won't have a gear stick. Or you might have in fact, I think you still do have a gear stick in an automatic. I'm afraid I'm not much of an expert with cars because I am not a driver. Okay, hi Eunice and hi Sweetness Mitra. Let's come back to the next one. So yeah, you use the gear stick for changing gears and for going into faster gears or slower gears, or maybe even reverse gear. The hand brake is one type of brake, and it's the one you use with your hand. Yeah, so it's the one which you use the hand brake when you are already parked, and it's to stop you from rolling down the hill. Yeah, so the hand brake is here in this picture. The brake is one of the pedals that you use at the bottom of the car. You use it to slow down. Okay, if you want to slow down, you'll need to use the brake. But if you want to speed up, and speed up is the opposite of slow down. And please remember, if you want to buy a phrasal verbs book, I've got a phrasal verbs book available. So do consider investing, splashing out on my phrasal verbs book, because it will help you with those. So you can also say put your foot down, meaning go faster, or step on it. But yeah, speed up is really the opposite of slow down. So the accelerator pedal is at the bottom here as well, near the brake. I don't know where exactly. And the clutch is another pedal that you have down here. And it's when you have manual transmission, you need to press the clutch when you change gear. Okay. Electric windows, I think that's very clear. Everyone will understand electric windows and they're easy to find. Glove compartment is here. It's where drivers or passengers sometimes keep their stuff. Yeah, you keep bits and pieces in the glove compartment. Very often maps, road maps are very often found in glove compartments. And I suppose you used to put your gloves in there, and that's where we get the name glove compartment, I assume. Hi Sete and hi Humpty Dumpty. And lastly, we've got the dashboard, which is all of this stuff, as far as I'm aware. I think, anyway, it's all the front board, the dashboard. Okay, it's everything here. So it's all the dials and clocks and buttons and, yeah, other things that I don't really know much about, if I'm honest. So boot now, we've got some more words. The boot, and in the US, they say the trunk. This is where you keep your luggage or your baggage or your bags. Very often you'll find a spare wheel in the boot. Yeah, a spare wheel, which is, you know, you've got 4 wheels, but you might get a puncture, a flat tire or a puncture. And if you get a flat tire or a puncture, you'll need to change the wheel for the spare wheel, which is often found in the boot. The bonnet, and in the US they call it the hood. Under the hood or in the under the bonnet, you'll find the engine. Yeah, it's at the front of the car usually, I think. So yeah, the bonnet's at the front of the car. You've got tires, which is the rubber part around the wheels. So you talk about bicycle tires as well, and you have an inner tube in a bicycle tire, which you pump up, and that's how you inflate the tires. So you have tires on bikes, you have brakes as well on bikes. We talk about brakes on bikes for slowing down as well. And we have gears on bikes, which you move up a gear and down a gear again. So there's a lot of crossover there with cycling. You've got a passenger seat here. You've got the driver's seat here, which is where you've got the steering wheel, of course. And then you've got the back seat, which is all of all 3 seats. Is the back seat. Windscreen is at the front, I've just told you, and you have windscreen wipers if it's raining, yeah, and you want to wipe away the rain because it's stopping. You can't make out the road anymore. Yeah, you can't make out where you're going, so you'll need to turn on the windscreen wipers. Okay, so this will be a little test on my website. I'm not going to go through that because I want you to go through the exercise on the website. Let's go on to dangerous driving. So these are just some sentences I've written and some explanations, but I think I'll put them on my website, and I'll take out some of the words, yeah? And so you'll have an exercise. But let's go through it first. Don't overtake when you are on a hill or a bend. You won't be able to see the oncoming traffic, so you could end up having a head-on collision. Okay, overtake is when one car goes past another car. They overtake that car. And of course, if you're overtaking another car on a hill or a bend, yeah, a hill is a small mountain, so it's not a mountain really, it's a hill. Yeah, if you're going uphill, you can't see who's coming in the other direction because you can't see over the hill. And so that's why it's dangerous. But the same with a bend. Yeah, if it's a bend, you can't see who's coming round the bend, so it's dangerous. You won't be able to see the oncoming traffic, the traffic coming towards you. Yeah, that's the traffic coming towards you. So you could end up having a head-on collision. A head-on collision is a crash between 2 cars when they crash head-on. So they crash, the front of one car hits the front of the other car. That's a head-on collision, and not one car hits the side, but one car hits the front of another car. Okay, don't get put off by distractions, either inside or outside the vehicle. If you don't look out for potential hazards, you will not be able to react quickly enough. So don't get put off. Put off means distracted, yeah? And this puts somebody off. It can mean distract somebody. But if something puts you off, it can also mean that it changes your mind about something and makes you think that it's not worth doing. Yeah, it has that meaning as well, to put somebody off. So it means it makes you dislike something. So you might say, the smell of cigarettes puts me off my dinner. Yeah, something like that. And it just means the smell of cigarettes makes me not so keen on the idea of my dinner. Yeah, it ruins my appetite. So yeah, it has a number of meanings. Put off. Put off also means postpone. When you put off a meeting or you put off a class, you postpone that class. So put off can have a number of different meanings, but here it means get distracted. Yeah. If you don't look out for, yeah, this is another phrasal verb. Do think about these phrasal verbs, guys. There's plenty more in here. So if you don't look out for, and this means keep an eye out for. Yeah, it's another good idiom, really. Keep an eye out for something. So it means watch carefully for something, keep an eye out for something. So if you don't watch carefully for, if you don't keep an eye out for potential hazards, so potential dangers, potential works very well with hazard and danger, potential hazard, potential dangers, you won't be able to react quickly enough. So don't drive while under the influence of alcohol or illicit substances. I think that's all clear. Yeah, if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, then that means that you're drunk or you're not sober. Yeah, and sober is the word you want for when you're not under the influence of anything. You are stone cold sober, we often say. So illicit really means illegal here, or certainly naughty. Let's say naughty. If anything is illicit, it's naughty or against the law. So if you are pulled over by the police pull you over. This is another phrasal verb, guys. You need it. You need this book. So certainly the police pull you over if they suspect you of driving dangerously or being under the influence. Certainly they pull you over and you may be breathalyzed. This is where they give you a breathalyzer. That's the name of the machine they give you. They give you a breathalyzer and you have to breathe into it, I believe. Should the result be positive, you will be charged with drink driving and you may face a driving ban. So a driving ban is when you are prohibited from driving. Yeah, it's illegal for you to drive because of your history, because of that crime of driving under the influence. So you might get a 2-year ban or a 3-year ban, a fine, or even a custodial sentence. So we learned in crime vocabulary, a custodial sentence is a prison sentence and a fine is a financial penalty. Yeah, money you have to pay. Don't drive too closely to the vehicle in front of you. If the other vehicle suddenly comes to a halt, you won't have time to step on the brakes. So you'll crash into the other vehicle. Okay, to come to a halt means to stop moving. Yeah, and it's a good expression for the car came to a halt or the train came to a halt at the platform. Yeah, something like that just means stopped. You won't have time to step on the brakes. So if you step on the brakes, it's like step on the accelerator. You step on the brakes to slow down. You step on the accelerator to speed up. And you will crash into, have a head-on collision or have a collision. But maybe head on, maybe not. Okay, don't exceed the speed limit. Yeah, exceed the speed limit means go too fast, go more than the speed limit, especially in residential areas. If you put your foot down in an area with lots of zebra crossings and traffic lights, you could end up running somebody over. So put your foot down means to step on it, to step on the accelerator. Zebra crossing is a pedestrian crossing. It's where you walk over the road and it looks like a zebra. I think that's easy, isn't it, really? Traffic lights, I think they're easy. And run somebody over, we say, for when you hit somebody in your car, you run them over. Even if you don't physically go over them, we often still say run over. Okay, let's keep going. Don't cut other drivers up. Okay, so to cut somebody up is when you suddenly pull in front of somebody else, when you suddenly go in front of somebody else, drive in front of somebody else, giving them very little time to slow down. So that's to cut somebody up. If you pull out in front of somebody else, and the reason I said pull in was because I was thinking about slowing down in front of somebody else and they have to put on, they have to step on the brakes. But you could pull out, meaning going into a faster lane. If you pull out in front of somebody else and they don't have time to slow down, maybe they're going faster than you, or they're obviously not if you overtake them, but if you suddenly, pull it, that's perhaps why pull in would work better here. If you pull in front of somebody else, pull out still works though. It does still work. If you pull out in front of somebody else and they don't have time to slow down, they may collide with your vehicle because you just pull out in front of, we just mean put your car in front of someone else. So if they don't have time to step on those brakes, they may collide with you. They may crash into you. Okay, don't step on the brakes. I've said that so many times that's clear. Too quickly, or turn the steering wheel too sharply during icy weather conditions. If the wheels start to skid, so this is where the wheels lose grip and they very often lock and the wheels skid over the surface of the road. It's like slide skid. And we talk about skid marks on the road. Yeah, not somewhere else, but skid marks on the road and the marks left by the skid. The police have to measure these marks to find out how fast the vehicle must have been traveling. Okay, and you may lose control of your vehicle and veer off the road. We often say veer off the road because when you veer off the path, you go slightly off the path. When you veer off the road, you go slightly off the road. Okay, so that's all I've got for you for today, but please go to the website for exercises. They'll be up in the next few days, and please please keep visiting, keep attending these classes, and we'll keep doing more vocabulary. I've almost got to the end of this text that I've written, but I might just start writing a bit more for the vocabulary. Okay, thanks everybody for watching.